Good Morning Delaware is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
Good morning, Delaware. Hello, everyone. My name is Vincenza, and I am so excited to join you this morning. Ivan is not here today, but that's okay because he's busy making sure that everything runs smoothly at DETV. So shout out to Ivan. We miss you, but that's okay. The show must go on. Before we announce our first guest, I definitely have to mention the prom dress giveaway. I knew I had to get right into it because it's super important and it's an initiative that we have started here at DETV. So for more information, visit detvch.com for our prom dress giveaway. We are collecting gently used or new prom dresses for all the young ladies in the community. So if you're interested, definitely feel free to donate. We are also looking for accessories, earrings, shoes, everything that goes along with making sure the special person will have a full set, a full get-up for the prom. So make sure you visit detvch.com for more information. All right, without further ado, let's welcome our first guest. Our guest is redefining strength with MS. After her multiple sclerosis diagnosis, Melissa Brewer-Tolson turned to fitness, starting with Pilates and now running marathons to raise awareness. Melissa recently completed the Rehoboth Beach Half Marathon and is set to run the Chicago Marathon with FinishMS. Let's hear about her journey so far and the ones to come. Welcome, Melissa.
Hi, how are you?
Good morning.
Good.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, I'm happy to be here. This is really exciting.
We're very excited to have you join us and to share your story.
Yes.
So before we dive into MS, I know it's very important to share with our viewers and listeners about who is Melissa Brewer-Tolson.
Well, I'm 32. I have been doing nails for the last 11 years. Professionally. I am a mom of two. I have a little girl, Drew. She's 3, and I have a almost 8-year-old son. I'm a wife and just busy. So you get, caught up in all of that.
Right. And you're an entrepreneur as well.
Yes, yep. I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own studio. It's a home studio. I closed my salon last year, so we're home. We have a separate addition on the house where I can do and take clients and everything like that. So it's really dope.
So you're a nail technician.
Yes.
And how long have you been doing nails now?
It's 11 years.
11 years. Yep. Okay, 11 so you're the go-to person for nails.
Yes.
So you're very busy.
Yes.
Very, very busy. And on top of everything, you were diagnosed with MS.
Yes, in 2020.
Okay,
I got the diagnosis. I went to the walk-in with just, I feel weird. Like my legs, I felt like, the pins and needles, which is a very common flare-up with MS. But I didn't know that then. I didn't know, it just felt like, when your foot falls asleep. So it was just like, okay, this is weird. Maybe I'm just not being active. Maybe I need to get moving. So I'm like trying to convince myself to do those things. I go to the walk-in, the, doctor in there tells me it's anxiety. So I'm like, okay, go about your business. And then a couple months later, I had a flare up where I couldn't see out of my left eye. And that was like, oh, what's going on? Did I scratch it? I go to the eye doctor. They were like, nothing's wrong with your eye. So I had to go to the neurologist. And from there, I found out I had MS. And I was just really having a hard time accepting it, honestly. Like, wait, so you're saying I have to take this pill twice a day? I'm sure for the rest of my life?
And I'm sure it was a shock to you
at
first.
And it was.
And for anybody that's diagnosed with an incurable disease, because there is no cure.
No,
there's no cure.
There's a lot of treatments. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of treatments. And when my first doctor, I wasn't necessarily, it wasn't comfortable. I didn't enjoy those appointments. And I really didn't feel like he was giving me the knowledge that I needed about MS. So I found a new doctor. He's in Christiana, Dr. Jason Silverstein. And since I found him, we found a treatment plan that works for me. Like, he makes sure I know that if this doesn't work, there are other options.
Right.
which is, I don't know, kind of makes you feel like you have some type of choice in it all, you know, like.
So Melissa, I wanted to just make sure for anybody that may not understand what MS is, what is it?
So it's a autoimmune disease. MS is, so the way I try to describe it, there's something that attacks the coating that's around your nerves. Okay. So it attacking the coating around your nerves is where you get the flare-ups, where it can be that you may get those pins and needles, where you may, I know someone that went blind for years, and it was just a flare-up because it went away. Her vision came back. So it was just, you know, you never know what type of flare-up it's gonna be, and you never know how long it's gonna last.
Right.
So it gets a little, you know, you try to do what you can do, and I feel like that's what last summer was for me. Last summer I started the 75 Hard, the challenge. So with that, I cut things out of my diet. Okay. I introduced like daily movement, daily workouts, and just being consistent and actually seeing a change had it like, I don't know, a switch flip that I didn't know that I needed. So it was like a total shift in my lifestyle. And from there, I found running. Okay. And running has become like more than just, crossing the finish line. It's really been like a challenge mentally, physically.
But rewarding.
Rewarding.
Right.
And it's showing me that like outside of the MS, I'm capable. I can do things.
Exactly.
I can do this. I can just, really complete these things that I never really saw myself ever doing. Right. So it's been cool.
And it's inspiring. And that's something that, I want to share with you as I was getting to know you prior to starting, prior to filming and reading your story and your biography. And it's inspiring. And I commend you for being brave.
Thank you.
And I commend you for being strong and sharing your story, because you just never know who you will inspire.
You don't.
And it so happens to be MS month, right?
Yeah.
Multiple sclerosis month.
Yep.
So it's a perfect month to talk about your story, raise awareness. So let's talk about the marathons, because that's impressive.
Yes.
Because what an autoimmune affects your whole body, and the fact that you don't know how to predict or prevent a flare-up, and the fact that you are running marathons, which is very impressive. I don't think I could run a marathon.
Yeah. Well, I've never ran a full one yet.
But the fact that you are doing this,
yes,
and you have a goal, that's inspiring. So tell us a little bit more about the marathons and any upcoming marathons coming up.
So once I started running this past summer, it just turned into, can I go further? Can I go a little bit faster? And then it was like, well, let's do a 10K. Okay, let's do a half. And that still felt crazy, but I trained for this half marathon. I found a training app, and it told me like when to run, how many miles to run, just to prepare. It was Runna, to help me prepare for this half marathon. It was December 7th, and it was in Rehoboth, and it was amazing. It was really cool just going out there and just seeing the different ages that were running, the different body types. Like, running's really for everyone. You don't have to be fast to be a runner. You know what I mean? Like, so
you go at your own pace.
Yes, so it's for you, and it can be for literally anybody. So doing the half made it like, okay, this is cool. Like, let me keep going. And then I was chosen to run for the Chicago Marathon for FinishMS, which is crazy because there's 7 world major marathons, and Chicago's one of them. So it's like one of the biggest ones, and people really want to get into certain marathons, and it was just really cool that, not even a year into running, I was chosen. I'm given this opportunity. So I had to fundraise. I'm raising money for the charity.
Okay, let's talk about that, because that's important, and there's always a need. And you are not only raising awareness for multiple sclerosis, but you're also fundraising.
Yep.
So how can someone support and donate?
So there's a link. I have links in my bio on Instagram, on TikTok. I document my journey. So I'm always posting videos of what I'm doing.
I love that.
All of my runs, all of my, I had a little hip thing recently. So I'm doing cold plunges. I'm trying to stretch. I'm going to Pilates. I'm trying to do it all to just make sure that, you know, I'm giving my body everything it needs so it can take me to this marathon.
Let's talk about the cold plunges, because I've heard about cold
Yes.
plunges, but I'm just too scared or hesitant to try it. So what are the benefits of a cold plunge?
A cold plunge is supposed to be good for inflammation, which with MS you know, want to get the inflammation out of your body to where it doesn't cause those flare-ups. So it's good for inflammation, and then it's really good for like just, I feel like, mental clarity, like really just being able to hone in on that mission and really realizing that, you know, you can do it, and, you know, getting in your head and not letting the cold weather or the cold water like psych you out, and, you know, really.
So it's more mental than physical.
It really
at this
is,
point.
100%.
See, I don't know if I could do it, because I've heard of so many people that have experienced it, and it's something that not only they feel amazing, but mentally,
Yeah, right.
it's something that you almost have to try it to understand.
Yes.
So maybe I have to try it now.
Yeah,
because if you could do it, then maybe anybody could do it, right?
You should. Literally. That's even just this whole journey for me. I feel like that's what it's really shown. Like, because I've never, you know, stayed consistent with things. Like I'm, you know, you start something, you might give it up. You might do like a little boot camp and give it up. But it's just really like, okay, once you decide it, once you make that decision for yourself, you can really do whatever you want. Like running a marathon, if you asked me last year if I was gonna run a marathon, I would have looked at you crazy. Like, me? Like, so, and you know, now I'm trying to train for a marathon in October.
How does your family feel about everything that you're doing while raising awareness for MS?
It's really cool. It's really brought everybody, like, you know, to get more active. Like, my mom's been doing 10Ks with me. We did the 10K across the Bay Bridge in October. They shut down one side and you go all the way across. And she did that with me. My husband did it with me. I threw my own 5K to fundraise for MS as like a fundraiser. And my son did that, and he's 7. That was his first 5K, and I marked it off a little wrong, so it was a little over, you know, 3.2 miles. So you make sure everyone knows he almost ran 4 miles. Wow. And it's just been really cool. Like, just seeing everyone, like, you know, they see me do it, which is just Melissa, and it's like, okay, it's doable. Anybody, literally anybody could do it.
I feel that's so special that you're able to share that with your family, because I know that there's a bigger purpose. Yeah. And the purpose is they're raising awareness and supporting you. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what it really is all about, because families coming together, uniting, and raising awareness for a bigger cause. So I think that's truly special that you share it with your family. And I'm sure that they enjoy it too. Yeah, it's like, you know, new events that we never even knew, like, what is it, the 16th or 15th of this month, there's a half marathon in DC. And it goes all around the monuments, and I'm doing that one. So that should be, you know, it's just gonna be cool, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be, you're gonna see the monuments in a way that you've never seen them before. Like, when have you ever ran from this one to this one? Like, it's gonna be, it's really cool. To date, how many marathons? I've only done one. So one. I've only done the Delaware, the Rehoboth one, but right now I have the DC Rock and Roll half marathon coming up, and then at the end of the month there's the Love Philly run, and that's another half marathon. Wow. And it like starts and finishes at the Rocky Steps, which I think is really dope. Really neat. Yeah. That's like, really neat. It should be really cool. And the fact that you're documenting it, I think, is even more special, because you're giving a glimpse of what happens behind the scenes as you prepare for a marathon, which is, in my opinion, harder than what many may think. But I do feel it is a difficult task, and you're challenging that face on, and I love that. It's really cool. And it's, again, going back to inspiring. Yeah. That you have a goal. You're going to be running all these marathons. It seems like you have a very busy spring and summer ahead of you. Yeah, I'm excited. Which is exciting. Just, and especially with this weather breaking, because running in the cold this winter was rough. It's not fun. Not at all. But it's going to be really, really, really cool to just experience these, you know, be able to plan these trips around running. Like, I'm going to Chicago just to run. Like, you know what I mean? Right. Like, it's just going to be really cool. So you're making a trip out of it too. Yeah, and everyone's coming. My sister, my mom, my aunt, my kids. It's going to be really cool.
to have all of them support me.
So Melissa, what piece of advice would you give someone that has just been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis? And you've been through it, you shared your journey and all the beginning stages of it and all what you went through mentally and physically.
Yeah.
What piece of advice would you give someone that's newly diagnosed with MS?
The first thing I would say, do not join any Facebook groups about it. It's going to depress you, and don't do it. Don't do it. That is not what you need right then. All what you really just do some research. Do research. Make sure you find a good doctor. Because originally I wasn't introduced to, like when I was diagnosed with, okay, yeah, you have MS. Like, the name of the disease wasn't even said, you know? Like, so find the doctor that fits you. I feel like that's the most important thing, honestly. Find the doctor that's working for you and that wants you to feel comfortable and wants you to feel empowered with the knowledge and that you can fight this and you will fight it and you will continue to be, it won't hold you back in any way. You know what I mean? Like, they'll give you everything that you need to keep going.
I admire the fact that you said that it's important to find a good doctor that you will develop a good relationship with, but also trust. Because that's very important. That's a part of the process, especially when you're going through something of this caliber as MS that has no cure. Yes, there are treatments. Yes, there are medications out there, but still no cure. So finding a physician that you trust, that will work with you and communicate with you. I feel that's extremely important, and I'm really, really happy that you mentioned that right at the beginning and said it again. And if you're not happy with the first person you speak with, keep looking. Get a second opinion, get a third opinion. I'm a firm believer in that. So I don't know if you know, Melissa, but I understand what you're going through a little bit. I also have an autoimmune.
Oh, okay.
So I was diagnosed with lupus 14 years ago.
Okay, wow.
And I understand the struggles of what you go through when you're newly diagnosed.
And it's invisible.
Yes.
You know, it's not always something that people see, like, you know, oh, your leg's broke. You know what I mean? Like, they can see that. It's a type of disability that can be completely invisible to everyone else, and you feel it.
Exactly. Only you feel it. And
I know lupus is like that too.
Just like that. We look normal, right? We look fine, and that's what we always get, right? But they don't know the invisible battles that we're fighting. And that's why it's very important that you're here today to talk about what you're going through, but also to raise that awareness. And I know that I have said this multiple times throughout this interview, but I cannot thank you enough for having the courage to share your story and to share the importance of advocating for the best health care, for the best, best support. And I know that your family is your biggest support system, and I'm sure they're watching and so proud of you and everything that you're doing. And how can more people, again, let's reiterate, how can they follow you? Share your Instagram, because I know you said you're documenting it.
Yes, I do. I post it all. On Instagram, it's MKMB, but it's like spelled out, so it's EMKAYEMBE.
Okay.
And on TikTok, it's Young Money Militia. That's my name on TikTok. And I post, the same thing on both, but I've been posting on TikTok for longer. TikTok has become like a type of community. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that I don't even know on there that have donated to my fundraiser, to the charity, because we just have that, false like internet connection. Like, I've been able to get tips. I've been able to learn different things. Like, I go straight to TikTok. Like, what do I do when you have hip pain for runners, or you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. Just trying to ask the questions, and you really get answers, and you really get opinions and help. So I've been like being able to use social media for those things have been really. I feel like prominent in this whole journey, honestly.
Absolutely, and it's something that, we think about, oh, social media has the pros and cons to it.
They got a downside.
Right, but this is the benefits of social media and how you can use it to raise awareness for MS, and you're doing that. And that's something that also is a job in itself, right? It's a job in itself, but it's important.
Yep.
because you need to continue to have the conversations.
Yeah.
Because we hope someday there will be a cure. And that's what we have to always stand by, that
Yep.
there will be a cure someday, but we need to continue the conversation.
Yep.
And that's
Yep.
what you're doing.
Yep.
Was there anything else you wanted to mention about FinishMS that we have not touched on?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's just for me, it's been able to turn into like a community, like, because there's other people that are running for FinishMS. And then so now, you can join the Strava group with everyone that's running, and you can see other people tracking their miles of, just, early training and stuff like that. You can talk to them about it. You can ask them, oh, when are you going out to Chicago? You know what I mean? Like, and we are gonna, once we get there, there's like a dinner, we're meeting up, we're talking. So it's gonna give us that, another type of relationship to where, we know what each other's going through, kinda, and we are doing it together.
Right.
It's been really cool.
Well, Melissa, thank you so much
No
for
problem.
joining us here at
Thank
Good Morning
you.
Delaware and sharing your story. We wish you so much luck as you take on the difficult task,
Yeah.
but of running all of these marathons, which is exciting.
Yeah.
And keep us posted.
I will.
Definitely,
Thank
you. Come back to Good Morning Delaware to share updates. And again, thank you
No
for
problem.
sharing your story.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. All right, so there you have it. Make sure that you continue to support multiple sclerosis by joining Melissa. And keep in mind that it is MS month. So let's continue the conversation and raising awareness. But speaking of raising awareness, it is also Do More 24 Delaware, and we're very excited to share DETV is participating in Do More 24 Delaware this year. In this 24-hour event, you will have the opportunity to donate to support DETV and other nonprofits throughout our first state. Starting this Thursday, March 6th at 6 p.m., you will be able to donate until March 7th at 6 p.m. We appreciate all of your support, so make sure you check out domore24delaware.org. Wow, another great show, obviously raising awareness for MS, but also very excited to support Do More 24 Delaware. I do have another announcement to make, something that I'm always so passionate about for all those that you know that I am the Executive State Director of Miss Delaware USA and Miss Delaware Teen USA. And the big announcement is we have a new date for the 2025 pageant. It will take place on Sunday, June 29th, here in Wilmington, Delaware at the Laird Performing Arts Center at the Tatnall School. So if you're interested in joining the sisterhood, visit missdeusa.com for more information. And we're always looking for sponsors because sponsors are the backbones of all organization. Thank you for joining us. My name is Vincenza. Thank you to everyone supporting Good Morning Delaware, and thank you to all of our sponsors. Have a beautiful day, everyone.